Mr. P.K. Thakur. Mr. P.K. Thakur is an engineering graduate from IIT Dhanbad. Having a strong working experience of 26 years in India and abroad in the core construction industry, he has got broad experience at various sites, workshops, HO and CO with companies like Punj Lloyd, DS Construction Limited, SPML Infrastructure, etc. Mr. Thakur is presently associated with GR Infra Project Limited as VP, Plant and Equipment, and heading a team of approximately 300 M band employees with an asset value worth of rupees 1900 crore rupees. Today, he will be talking about selection criteria for earth-moving equipment. So let's welcome Mr. Thakur.
It's my privilege to talk on this topic on this B2B platform. And my topic is selection criteria of earth-moving machinery from the buyer's spot. In present scenario, when the infrastructure industry is booming at a rapid growth rate in India, and a lot of new OEMs are also coming up in Indian market, what we are expecting in the coming days in infrastructure industry, particularly the HTMM section, is really a $1 million question. It's not so easy to give a simple answer on this. But well, we the professionals here sitting in this forum, we can definitely talk on this, and we can have certain ideas about this. And we as a customer, we want to analyze, we are trying to analyze how the infrastructure is going, and in this scenario, what could be the selection criteria for earth-moving machineries from customer point of view. So I'll like to share some slides and we'll talk point by point. The first point, what impacts the selection of earth-moving machinery is the contractual obligation. Means in contract, what exactly is the requirement of the client or the authorities, what they are looking for about the equipment. If anything is specified already there, so we have certain limited option for that. But if it is not any specific requirement is not mentioned in the contractual documents, then we can have multiple options and we can go through these. Next point is the project tenure. What's the tenure of the project? Equipment's capacity, equipment selection, equipment's availability, everything depends upon the project tenure. If the bigger tenure of the project is there, we can plan in a broader way. But if the tenure is short, we can go for the other options also, including the hiring of equipments also. So it's a project tenure plays a very important role in this industry. Next point is the volume of the work. Exactly what volume of work we want to do with the equipments. This matter a lot. If the bigger volume of work is there, project tenure is bigger, particularly for the mining projects, if I'm talking about, then we can have a bigger capacity of equipments and we can have a bigger investment on equipments. So the volume of work and project tenure definitely impacts the capacity and investment. Next point, I would like to see what are the options available with us. And if we go through the technological comparison of this, so we can find out what type of technology is available in market, what are the options available with us, and we can make a comparative of that. This gives the fair idea about the equipment's technological aspect, what future trend this technology is going on, and finally the buyer can have a fair choice which equipment they should go for. Next point, I would like to highlight the application. What sort of application we want to purchase the equipment, whether this is for mining application, whether this is maybe this could be for quarry application or earth moving equipment if it is used for earthworks, or maybe for road construction. So if for example, if it is for mining application, definitely capacity is bigger, and this means other options are there. So, but if suppose this is for earthworks, so for earthworks we don't require the bigger capacity equipments. And similarly, so for if it is for marine application, definitely nature of the equipment will be different. Next point is country of origin of the equipment. Suppose we go for which origin of the equipment is this. For example, if it is this indicates fairly the what quality of equipment will be. So for example, if we are importing some equipment from Europe, definitely this we can expect that the equipments are of higher quality, good quality, and it could be a reliable options. Whereas we know the other countries also from where if we import this just for the stopgap arrangement it works. If it is Indian OEMs, we can expect something from them. Okay, this equipment will be usable, and whenever required, we have available. OEMs are available and services are available. We can immediately contact them if any fault occurs or anything. So, country of origin plays very important role. Of course, that depends upon this. It reflects the quality of the equipment, and more important, we need to understand the whether if this is for any very specific application. If equipment is this, then equipment population could be less. In that situation, we have to very careful about the equipment selection, because if it is highly specialized equipment for operation or maintenance manpower, skilled manpower availability also becomes a challenge. So country of origin plays an important role. Next is and very important, the price of the equipments. When we are making the techno-commercial comparison, we must think about this is the most important thing. Any investor would like to go for this. They must understand. They must consider this. What is the price we are getting for, and whether if it is for self-owning or whether it is a rental mechanism. If you go for rental mechanism, a line of thinking will be different. A rental company will think for minimum investment, maximum return on this, whereas a self-owning contractor will try to. I'm getting some echo. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. It is okay now.
For self-owning contractors, they could go for the long-term investment on the equipments. So return of investment is the most important parameter for any whether it could be a contractor or whether they could be the rental companies or the big corporates or even the retailers, whoever it is. Next is the economic life of the equipments. That matters a lot. Means what type of equipments, which equipments giving what best economic life on their investment. For example, if suppose I'm investing some amount on the Caterpillar excavator, what type of and I'm expecting minimum 20,000 hours could be the first economic life of this machine. Whereas if I invest on some non-reputed excavator manufacturer, I cannot expect the first economic life of 20,000 from that machine. So this is very important parameter where any customer thinks for. Next is the after-sales supports or spare parts availability, dealer capability, or OEM or dealer, what turnaround time is there. This is also very important parameters. Okay, we can import the equipment from Europe or any overseas countries, or we can buy any equipment from any part of the globe. But if it is not supported properly by the dealers, then it doesn't make any value addition. And if fault occurs, then we become almost helpless in that situation. So if a strong dealer network is there and dealer is capable enough to handle the situation, and its a turnaround time is less, only then it makes sense to go for the that type of equipment which is less populated in the country, or maybe even if high investment and high quality equipment, but if it is supported only, then we should go for that. Next is the maintenance cost. What maintenance cost we are incurring on the equipments? Means there are multiple options available with us on many equipments, but for different type of equipments, cost of maintenance really sometimes shocks us. Means for similar capacity of equipment, but different OEMs, we find a huge gap on maintenance cost. And in totality, if suppose when there is a gap of only 10 rupees per hour, then at the end of the 20,000 hours, if you go far, we find that it's a big amount. Say suppose 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs rupees is just the cost difference on the maintenance cost of the equipment. So it's a very important parameter, and customer thinks on this. Next and most important one, the fuel consumption. There are many options available with us, and every OEM, many OEMs claim their superiority, but this is the indicator which makes a big impact on the pocket of the investor. It's fuel engine, and we have find variation of almost 30% fuel variations in terms of, if I say per hour cost. In the from one brand, from minimum to maximum, there is a difference of almost 30% of fuel consumption ratio, and in totality, that ends up in crores when the life of economic life of equipment is over. So very challenging and very important indicator is this fuel consumption, which doesn't look immediately, but it impacts a lot at the end of the life of the equipment. Next is the reliability factor, because this is most important when we are doing any critical job. So for example, working in marine application or some like hilly terrain, or maybe for hydropower projects, where reliability of equipment impacts more. That's the requirement is reliable equipment is required, and other factor can be subsided, whereas machine has to be reliable, so that if we start the work, it should be able to finish the work at the same time frame. So criticality of equipment, criticality of work, and hence finally the reliability factor imparts a lot. Next, the peace of mind of the investor. Many OEMs are coming up with different ideas, and warranty cover is very one of the most important idea out of this. So, for example, for same type of equipment, same class of equipment, we find some OEMs are coming. Okay, we will cover extended warranty up to 10,000 hours. Where there are certain OEMs, they are hesitant on this warranty. They may offer of say standard warranty of 2,000 hours, or maybe a standard warranty of up to 4,000 hours. So if an OEM is offering 10,000 hours extended warranty, definitely customer feel more comfortable about that, and they can opt that equipment. Since they find a peace of mind, okay, I have purchased the machine and it is already warranted for 10,000 hours, so there is I have nothing to worry for. So this plays important role here. Next is the safety features and stability features. There are many equipments where these are identical in the specification, these are identical in the application also, feature-wise these are common, but in terms of safety and stability, we find a lot of gap there. For example, I have seen many even bulldozers also, where rollover protection system is not available in sometimes is noticed. And or even for excavators also, many OEMs doesn't offer the rollover protection system in cabins. So even if machines is toppled, at least operator is saved on the price of machines life. So this is very important feature, because skilled manpower is the most important thing we need to protect first, and there is no value of life. So safety has to play a very important role here. Next is the location of work where we have to execute the project. Means in which terrain this project is to be executed. Whether if it is, for example, this could be there could be some geological factors, there could be some political factors. Whether if we are working in hilly terrains, we find that always there is some restriction of means over dimension consignment cannot move in that area, or these are narrow passage roads are going in that. For example, in Hadal Power project, which is mostly in the upper hilly regions, so accessibility is always a challenge there. So in that case, we cannot think for the bigger size equipments there. We have to manage with there has to be a balance between the capacity of equipments and the requirement. So there are some geological restrictions also. Similarly, there are some political situations also. There's some in distant area like Northeast or Chhattisgarh. We will not opt to go for the high value equipments, and we will try to manage with Kam Chalao equipments, like cheap equipments. We can manage the project, and if the project is over, okay, fine, either we will sell it off or we will scrap it out. So terrain plays a very important role. Next
sir,
is,
we have Thakur sir, we are running short of time, so please conclude in the next 2 minutes.
It's almost finished now, sir. And of course, investor will find in which type of equipments funding is easy by the financiers, because on many models financiers are not interested. They may opt, okay, I will fund only 50% or 60%. That type of restrictions are the new OEMs are coming to market. So this is also very important. Next one is the salvage value. For example, this is also very important factor. Okay, for example, I am give you a simple example. If I go for a Caterpillar excavator, if I use it for 10,000 hours and resell it, I can get maybe up to 60% of return on that salvage value of this equipment. Whereas for other OEMs, similar OEMs, we cannot get that much return. So even if initial investment is high, this is compensated by the salvage value. So end of the day, the story is there. Next is the owning pride. For example, if I own 2 Mercedes cars, definitely I feel more proud of sitting in that car. Similarly, if there is a fleet owner who is owning 200 Caterpillar equipments, he might have a feeling, okay, I am a Caterpillar equipments, I am an owner of Caterpillar equipments having fleet size of more than 200. So that gives a sense of proudness also. So these are certain parameters which really impacts, and the customer go through these parameters finally to select the equipments. That's all from my side today. Thanks a lot.